Moving on to the next item. Item 5C is 630 San Mateo Avenue, a request for a parking exception to allow a cafe lounge within the CBD for chapters 12, 100, 120 of the Bruno Municipal Code. Staff report, please.
Thank you. As stated, the applicant has applied for a parking exception to establish a cafe lounge within the Central Business District zoning district. Subject site is located on the east side of San Mateo Avenue on the 600 block. The site is 1,775 square feet and is currently occupied by a retail establishment that is going out of business. The applicant is proposing to locate a cafe lounge where kava will be served. Kava is a non-alcoholic beverage that is prepared from a root of a plant. The hours of operations would be 11 a.m. to 1 a.m., 7 days a week. The interior will consist of seating throughout the entire floor area, a new countertop and serving area, an office and storage room, and a bathroom. This is considered a permitted land use as no alcohol will be served on site. Therefore, the Planning Commission review is strictly in regards to the parking exception request. In regards to parking, the previous retail tenant required one space per 250 square feet of floor area. The proposed cafe requires one space per 100 square feet of floor area. This results in a net difference of 10 parking spaces. Staff did conduct a parking survey. We selected 4 city-owned lots that were included in this parking survey. Those lots were specifically chosen due to their close proximity to the subject site. And the parking counts were conducted on 3 separate occasions during the midday and evening hours. It is important to note that an occupancy rate of 85% is the threshold that staff considers when determining if an area is parking impacted. Using this threshold, 3 of the 4 lots were underutilized during the lunch hours. And if you refer to page 3 within your staff report, there's a chart at the top of the page. The top chart is weekday lunch data. And you'll notice that lot number 4, which is located in the northwest corner of Mastic Avenue and Sylvan Avenue, is operating at a 54% overall occupancy rate. Lot number 6 is operating at a 33% occupancy rate, and lot number 8, which is located on the west side of San Mateo Avenue, is operating at a 40% occupancy rate. During the evening hours, 2 of the 4 lots were underutilized. And if you look at the chart just below that, labeled weekday dinner data, you'll notice that lot number 4, again located on the northwest corner of Mastic Avenue and Sylvan Avenue, is operating at an overall occupancy rate of 53%. And lot number 6, which is located on the southeast corner of Angus and Easton, is operating at an overall occupancy rate of 61%. Staff finds that the parking study revealed that there is enough parking within the surrounding city-owned parking lots to support the proposed use. If you look at Exhibit E within your staff report, you'll find all of the details and analysis from those parking surveys. Staff did receive 1 email from the owner of Artichoke Joe's. That email was distributed to the Planning Commission just to the start of this meeting. The owner is present tonight and plans to address the Planning Commission and will summarize his comments at that time. And the Community Development Director will be able to respond to these comments. Overall, staff supports the project. We recommend that the Planning Commission approve the parking exception request based on findings of fact 1 through 2 and conditions of approval 1 through 23. I'd be happy to answer any questions that you have. Thank you.
Any questions from the commission to the staff?
To the chair.
Commissioner Mishra.
Matt, last time this was presented for continuation, I asked if the staff will check into San Mateo County Health Department and see if they had any questions or concerns. This is the first time I'm seeing such an application.
This is the first time this type of application has come before our office. When the application was originally submitted, we did check in with the San Mateo County Health Department. They did note that a kava bar had not been proposed in San Mateo County before, but it would be handled as any other coffee bar or coffee house type of use.
Okay, thanks.
Any other questions? Thank you very much. Now we'll move on to the public hearing, and I'd like to ask the applicant to come forward and make whatever comments you wish on your application. Please give your name and street name for the record.
My name is Rakesh Kumar, 630 San Mateo Avenue, and I'm open for any comments.
Do you have a presentation or any comments you wish to make?
I do not.
No? Okay. Does the commission have any questions for the applicant? All right. Hearing none, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Are there any other members of the public who would like to comment on this application? Please step to the podium so we can hear you, and give your name and street name for the record.
My name is Dennis Samet. I'm the CEO of Artichoke Joe's. Mr. Chairman, members of the commission, residents, tonight I'm speaking only for Artichoke Joe's. I'm affiliated with other organizations, so I want to make that absolutely clear, Artichoke Joe's only. In reference to the Kava Bar, it wouldn't make any difference if it was Chinese, Japanese, a pizzeria, or a hot dog type establishment. I'm speaking tonight strictly to parking only. When addressing parking, I noticed the study the city did. I'm not going to get into points and cues on it. When addressing parking only, the 600 block, now with its 12 restaurants, businesses, adjacent Caltrain station, is strictly ground zero. People want to park close to the establishments they're visiting at nighttime. This includes restaurants, as you're probably well aware of. They're not going to walk around basically corners 1 or 2 blocks away to facilitate the parking. However, the Caltrain station now, as wonderful as it may be, it's a nice clean addition to the downtown, had unintended consequences. It's created parking issues. Yes, it has 93 spaces thereabouts. Been down there the other day counting 55 of these spaces were in use. To park there costs $5 a day, $25 a week. Naturally, a prudent commuter, what would he do? He would find free parking in the neighborhood or somewhere in the downtown area. Number 2, we have the employees of the various bars, restaurants, businesses, and the majority of them, if you go down and you really look and you study it, all want to park close. Really, I can't blame them, especially if they're female employees. Everybody wants to park close because we're all a little bit lazy. And finally, there's the customers who bring the green stuff in the door. These people are very important in here, and they want to park very close at nighttime, especially if they have their wife and kids with them. All of these are served in the immediate 600 block. I'm talking 600 block, 29 off-street parking spaces, street parking, and then the neighborhoods directly behind, and also parking from Artichoke Joe's. We don't really put in any heavy restrictions in unless we start seeing owners and employees parking in our basic facilities. And I don't have an issue with the Cava Bar. In fact, I think you should probably approve it tonight, really, to be honest with you. I think the poor guy is in here, and I don't mean that facetiously. I mean, he's done his work, he's improved the place, and done, according to the law, what is there. And I understand the planning position, the planning department's position. But after tonight, and after this approval of the Cava Bar, I think it's unrealistic for any of us here to start kicking cans down the road. People spoke earlier about the parking. Parking is the major problem in San Bruno today. Make no mistake about it. And it's similar with this problem in here. We just keep kicking it on. We push it off in here, say next week we'll do it. That's like me saying I'm going on a diet. Well, I got news for you. It just doesn't really happen at all. And it's evident today, what you see. Customers of the 600 block, when they come down to use whether the Cava Bar, use one of the Chinese restaurants or whatever, they're going to simply, when the parking isn't close to them, they're just going to drive elsewhere in here. These businesses, which are doing a lot of times, when we don't address these issues, we're setting them up to die. Because the people in there have their life savings, a lot of them in there. It's a family operation. People want to make a living. And we deprive them of this if we crowd all the parking up and we jam it up. We have to look at it also. The Caltrain ridership is going to be going up, up, up. It's not going to go down anymore. This will be a greater impact on the surrounding areas. Take a look at it. These people are not going to pay that $5. They're going to go out to the neighborhoods. And then as they move to the neighborhoods, A lot of the neighborhoods, we have a lot of working class people in town. A lot of these homes are multi-family occupied. A lot of them don't have one car, they have 3 and 4 cars. They're trying to get by, trying to make it in there. Tonight, I'm asking the Planning Commission to set a date in the future to stop all parking exemptions for restaurants in the downtown, in the 600 block of San Mateo Avenue. I'm asking in here that everybody works in cooperation to develop or promote a master plan for the downtown with adequate parking facilities instead of this kicking down the road routine. We'll do it next week, or in 5 weeks we're going to meet, or next year we're going to have a problem. Request that Caltrain build a garage there. 193 spaces. I want you to think about it. They're going to keep that, then they want to put in a 7-story garage. Well, this is wonderful. Now, we got a big parking problem that's going to add on. Do you mean the 193 spaces 10 years, 20 years from now is going to be adequate for that? You know, this is fairyland. This is tooth fairy business we're dealing in. If we're going to make a development in this town to really work, we've got to have the adequate parking. People just go elsewhere. They're not going to put up with it in here. Or what you're going to do is to condemn the neighborhoods to a nightmarish parking problem, and then they're going to all come in here moaning and groaning about parking permits being issued, and who gets one? The thing is, I'm a big supporter of the... What?
Mr. Smoot, you're over quite a bit.
Okay, I'll finish it up in 2 sentences here. I'm a big promoter of the transit corridor plan. I think we should get behind it, and we should all promote it in here. We've got to do something about this problem. For the Cava Bar, approve them, I don't have a problem with it. But you're just kicking it down the road, and we're just kidding ourselves what we're doing. Thank you very much. I appreciate the opportunity to speak tonight.
Thank you. Any other members of the public wish to comment on this application? Okay, seeing none, and without objection, I'll close the public hearing, bring the matter back to the commission for discussion and a motion. Commissioner Biassatti?
Through the chair, I actually had one more question for this
Sure,
gentleman,
go
if you don't mind. I noticed in,
Could I ask you to please go back there so we pick you up on the recording? Thank you.
in your letter, you mentioned that you're going to be doing some major construction in the next 18 to... I'm sorry. In your letter, you said something about doing major construction in the next
Yes.
18 to 24 months. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. What we've done is this. The bar area we have now was built in 1908. The restaurant part was built in 1935. Basically, it's worn out. We've redone this building so many times, it's like getting your joints replaced so many times the doctor can't do you any good anymore. What we've done is you will be seeing the plans soon. They're being drawn now that will be submitted. We're trying to follow along, even though it's not implemented. We're trying to come along with a lot of the guidelines for the buildings in the transit corridor type situation with setbacks. However, you know, a lot of this is not into writing, but we're trying to look forward. This will be probably about 30-some-odd thousand feet. It'll use where the bar is now, street to street, all the way to the corner, full basement with it, to upgrade the facility with it. It's, we're trying to use a modern approach to it. We're also looking at the part when it's constructed in here with the height limitation to look at. It won't be evident now, but structurally, it'll be designed in here so later in the future, when you do have, as they were looking at on transit corridor, you know, with apartments or condos, that we can accommodate this. We want to be part of the growth and do things to facilitate the downtown with it. We also have, in connection with all this, it'll tie into our other structures with it, and that's about all I can really tell you. You will be seeing the plans, or the Planning Commission will begin seeing these probably within 60 days. Then they'll be before you folks here. We're looking at construction, and this presents a major problem also, probably around right after the rainy season next year. We plan during the construction phase, we could lose upwards of 50 parking spaces. Now this, we allow people to park there now. This is going to force an impact in the area. I think it'll be a major upgrade in the downtown area. We're looking forward to it. We're celebrating in September, I think it is, or September, October, for our 100th year in business. We currently employ over 425 people full-time. We have our own parking. We're trying to work something out later with the city in here, with the old train station, of being able to work an arrangement, either buy it or rent. We will transport our employees down to the other lot. We have our own vehicles 24 hours a day. We have a security staff of 26 full-time people. We have not had in the last year and a half, to my knowledge, any card plottings, muggings, burglaries, whatever you want to ever call it in here. We're completely free of that. We've lit the area, done everything possible to improve the lots with it. One big problem we are having, I will tell you right now, is with the parking again, is when the Caltrain people in the morning all seek to have parking and seek our lots out in here to be able to use to park all day and then come home at night and use it. We post a security guard out there to discourage this kind of activity. The major complications always occur in that area of town when you have a ball game. Naturally, a lot of people want to take the train to the ball game. It's the practical thing to do. And what happens? Everything jams up completely around us, all the way into the avenues and the surrounding areas. I'm for a prosperous downtown, a well-developed downtown, and I'd like to see a lot of the businesses and a lot of the properties be redeveloped, bring parking in, and to see San Bruno prosper. It's been a lot of years since anything has happened in this town, and it has to happen. I mean, otherwise we're condemned. Look at the towns in here of Millbrae right now. Go down there at lunchtime. Go down to San Carlos. Look at some of the other Burlingame as a classical example. People want to park line of sight to the car. They want to see what's going on. And we're trying to do this with our customers in here. We're here to accommodate them. Someday, if things work out, we will build a multi-story garage. We purchased the property around. We will purchase more as time goes on. And hopefully, I'm alive and not on the ground to see a lot of the things happen in downtown San Bruno. It's been a long time. Is there any other questions you have?
Thank you.
Through the chair, I do have one question. How many parking spaces do you provide?
Oh, I think I forgot where we're at. We're close to over 400 or something, or 400 or 500 we have. With solely owned outright by Artichoke Joe's. We provide all the upkeep, all the security, everything, 100% we do on our own. And like I said, people come in and they use fine, but if we get large, that was my only concern with Cobble Bar and some of the other places in here is when people come in to eat, there's not a problem with it right now because it's under control. But if this unmitigated thing keeps moving down the pathway here and there's no parking, I mean, sure, they can walk 2 blocks down, 3 blocks down. And if you look at the time period, a lot of people do eat later in the evening now. The idea is for everybody to be successful, everybody to make a living. This is extremely important with it. And you know, the train station in here is going to be a major problem unless it's addressed. And I think Dave and the other planners know that we have to have proper planning with that. I mean, this thing could be an unmitigated disaster area for everybody connected with it. It's also the best thing that happened too.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Any other discussion or possibly a motion?
Through the chair,
Commissioner Mishra?
I recommend that the Planning Commission approve parking exception 14-002 based on findings of fact 1 and 2 and conditions of approval 1 through 23.
Is there a second?
Second?
Through the chair,
Commissioner Smoot?
before we take the vote, I just would like to just say publicly that Dennis and I are not related before we do the vote.
Well, same
Okay.
island.
Yeah, same island.
What, San Bruno?
On the question, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries, and there's a 10-day appeal period. Thank you very much.
Through the chair,
Commissioner Chase?
just one quick comment on what Dennis said. Appreciate all your comments. You know, really, they hit home. You know, we know, I know I sat on the transit corridor, committee and all that, and definitely gonna be an issue in the future, and, gotta be on it, but appreciate all your comments.
Thank you very much for allowing me to talk.